Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when you reach the point of no return. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I'll jump right into it. When you reach the point of no return, it's a point that in any relationship or circumstances when you can't go backwards. Let's use some very basic examples. So let's say you are out hiking and you have hiked a little bit too far and you don't know which direction to go in. You've kind of reached the point of no return. Which way do I go? I'm not sure. What do I do? Do I go backwards? Do I go, I don't know. Same thing in a narcissistic relationship. This will happen so frequently. As a matter of fact, in each and every narcissistic relationship that you were a part of, and my hope is you're not in any of these right now, there is a point of no return. And it's called either the discard, the narcissistic fog, where you're so beaten down you just exist in it, or if you are strong enough to exit the relationship yourself, that's what you do. But the point of no return is when you finally see through the mask. You see who this individual really is and how they manipulated you for a period of time, which again was the length of the relationship. And sometimes they try to manipulate you even after the relationship has ended by using parental alienation, future faking, also by withholding divorces and or dragging things out as long as they possibly can with custody and assets and things like that. But when you reach the point of no return, there's no going back. You see, in the narcissistic relationship, remember, you can't unsee what you have seen. Most likely, you have found my channel and you're getting the wisdom and you're understanding your experience, and you're coupling it with your education. And you're saying, oh my gosh, that checks the box. So does that and that and that. Oh my gosh, this person, I think they're a narcissist. They're certainly an individual I want nothing to do with. They're a toxic person. And that is when you reach the point of no return. It's when you say to yourself, okay, I've tolerated this poor behavior for so long, perhaps months, perhaps years, decades, perhaps it's been a lifetime. And you finally say to yourself, enough. This person who you're thinking about, the narcissist that is, they're not going to change. All they're going to do is continue to try and manipulate me because they know what I possess. They know my abundance, my beautiful bright light that shines within me. They know that perhaps I'm an empath, and they know that they've been able to break down my barriers and or boundaries throughout the body of the relationship. So what would make this any different? I'll tell you what makes this any different is you're getting the education. You are utilizing the tools that you're learning on my channel. You are making slow, smart, educated, well-informed decisions. Perhaps you have gone no contact and blocked the narcissist. Perhaps you have removed all flying monkeys and people associated with the narcissist. Perhaps you have removed yourself from social media, or you have relocated, or you have started a new job, or you have moved halfway across the globe, or you have struck up new friendships or fallen in love again. Who knows what you've done? But when you reach the point of no return, it's just that. You can't go backwards. You can't go back to the narcissistic relationship, with the individual who you were in the relationship with. We know that's a big no-no. That's why, side note, do not accept a Hoover. Remember, for you newbies on the channel, a Hoover is when the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship after a period of time has elapsed. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be 2 decades, who knows? The narcissist is a person who many times post-relationship, you think they're gone, and then you turn the light switch on, and just like a cockroach in the kitchen, the narcissist reappears, and they're going to try to act like everything was puppies and rainbows and that your sense of reality wasn't reality. In other words, going to try and gaslight you to get back into the relationship, or say they've changed, or say that they realize you're the love of their life, or that they miss you, or all these kind of things. That's potentially how a Hoover could come at you. Also, they could play the victim, saying that someone passed in their family and they really need your support, or things like that. There are many different ways, but the point is, don't accept a Hoover. Now, getting back on track, when you reach the point of no return, that's when you close the chapter on the narcissist. That chapter in your book of life is now closed. It's sealed. There's no turning the page backward. You've already read that part, that chapter of the book. There's no reason to reread it. You've learned, you've grown, you've become awakened and aware. You are educated now. You are perhaps entering the 3rd version of yourself. Remember, there are 3 versions of you. The first version before you met the narcissist, the second version of you when you were in the narcissistic relationship, and the 3rd version of you, the galvanized, super strong version of you, which is the best version of you ever. Because now that you've conquered the narcissistic relationship and you've put yourself back together, you've dusted yourself off, you've picked yourself up by the bootstraps, you've healed, you've processed childhood wounds, you have experienced perhaps the dark night of the soul, You have grieved, you've cried, you've experienced the anger stage, you've lost family members, you've lost friends, you've lost your social circle, you've lost your network, you almost lost yourself, but you didn't, because here you are on the channel getting the wisdom. And this is when you reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you don't look back at the narcissist and miss anything. You just say to yourself, wow, I really was tested. That almost took me down for the count, but it didn't, and here I am, and now I am building myself back up. This is exactly the path. That's what you must do. If not now, when? But when you reach the point of no return, you can't go back. You won't fall for the manipulation anymore. Not only that, you will identify it in new individuals that you will encounter. It could be somebody in an elevator, it could be a neighbor, a person in a community or organization, it could be a romantic interest, it could be a friend you've had for decades that you've finally identified, wait a minute, I've been there for that person through thick and thin, through their marriage, their divorce, the accidents, the things that happen throughout their life, and they're never there for me. As a matter of fact, what they do is they're continuing to call me and have me be their sounding board, or have me be there to console them, or me take them to the airport, or me to loan them money never to be repaid. And you realize that, and you're like, wait, no, done, don't need it. And I know there's a loyalty there. Perhaps that individual you're thinking of that you've known for 30 years, yeah, there's a loyalty, I get it, but everyone reveals themselves in time. Understand that, get the message. Just because you've known somebody for a length of time doesn't mean you actually know them. Think about your family. Some of the most damage that has been done to you in life has come from your closest family members when they've let you down, when you needed them the most. Think about it. It's a fact. Not always, but many times. It's the people that know you the best that know how to weaponize your empathy and or your resources against you. And that friend of 30 years, just because you've known them 30 years doesn't mean they're going to be loyal to you tomorrow. It really doesn't. Now again, I'm not a doom and gloom person. I'm a person living in the present moment, gaining experience and wisdom from the past, not predicting the future, but being here, centered with you right here, right now, in this moment in time. That's what I suggest you do too. Anything is subject to change throughout this thing called life. Anything. None of us are guaranteed to be here tomorrow. Absolutely we're not. Think about it. It's a fact. So why I say that is because so many people, they reach the point of no return in the narcissistic relationship, but what they do is they can't take that final step. They can't take the blocking step, or they can't relocate, or they can't quite utilize gray rock yet. That's what you must do. Because if you don't insulate yourself and protect yourself from the narcissist and from toxic individuals, believe me, that means you're susceptible to A, a Hoover, B, poor behavior, C, your energy being disrupted and taken from you, etc. The list is really long there. But when you do get the message and you incorporate the tools you're learning on my channel and you have reached the point of no return, now you understand what you want to do with your time. You understand the abundance that is all around you. You understand that the narcissists tried to steal your beautiful bright light from you, and they did for a period of time, and they never wanted you to succeed. Remember, to the narcissist, any relationship, it's a competition. This thing called life to the narcissist is a game of manipulation, of having you not believe in yourself, of having you doubt yourself, of having you believe in the mask, of having you believe in the narcissist. The narcissist is a coward and a bully. They are an empty, hollow vessel. What they want is they want to go through this thing called life, and they want to take as much of your resources and other resources as possible. And then when they do it, many times they'll crumble you up like a sheet of paper and throw you away on the freeway. Because why? Because they've already moved on to a new source of supply, or sources of supply. You see, you were just one chapter in the narcissist's book. Really get this message. Maybe a difficult pill to swallow, but it's real. The narcissist has a book of life also, just like you do and I do. And you were one chapter of things that they call supply. Maybe you were husband number 3. That was chapter number 3. Maybe the narcissist is on husband or wife number 5. Who knows? I'm not here to judge people or criticize people. I'm letting you know that you were nothing but a chapter to them. Yes, it is a very challenging thing to think about, but the narcissist can move on so quickly because they never loved you. They never cared about you. They only cared about what you provided. Think about all of the things that you gave up for the narcissist in the relationship. Your hobbies, your money, your time, your empathy, your ability to tolerate poor behavior, your ability to be there for them at their beck and call, your ability to be patient and wait for them despite the fact they were making you wait to pick them up for an hour in the parking lot, or to pay the bills, or to loan them money never to get it repaid back, or to tolerate the gaslighting. In other words, saying that we did this, this, and this in the past, and they're like, no, that never happened. And you're like, what are you talking about? Of course we did. or to have you go on vacations with the narcissist and they take selfies and use 30 filters to post up pictures to find your replacement on social media. Play that one again. These are some of the examples that the narcissist had you be put through in the relationship. They tested you to the core. And each and every day that you were tested in the relationship, you got closer and closer to that point of no return. The thing is, when you were in the narcissistic fog or the devaluation stage, you did not know what you were up against, number one. Number two, you didn't know that narcissism was prevalent on the planet. Number three, you thought most people acted and thought like you did. Number four, you believed that most people have goodness within them and want to build other people up. The truth of the matter is, the person you're thinking about, the narcissist, they wanted to take you down and they wanted you not to succeed. That is why many times they tried to drive a wedge between you and your immediate family members, you and your friends, you and your coworkers, you and your hobbies, you and kids, you and neighbors, you and people in organizations. Think about it. The narcissist would listen to virtually anybody but whom? That's right, but you. And when you did have a great idea or an idea to better the narcissist, and I'm certain you had many, you would share it with them and then they would shrug their shoulders and be like, okay. And then tomorrow, the very next day, they would come at you and say, I have this great idea. So-and-so told me, boom, boom, boom. And you're like, wait a minute, I told you that last night at dinner, remember? And they're like, no, you didn't. You didn't say that. You said something different. And you're like, oh my goodness, does this ever stop? No, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until you remove yourself from the relationship. That's when it stops. When you reach the point of no return, which means I can assure you, you've exhausted every avenue of responsibility and reasonability in the relationship. And you need to understand the narcissist won't change. The longer you're in these toxic narcissistic relationships, the worse the behavior gets because they are an aging narcissist, number one. But number two, they know what makes you tick and they know how to put you in a good mood and they know how to pull the rug out from underneath you and put you in a not good mood. They know how to keep you pining for them. They know how to keep you waiting for them. They know how to keep you wasting your time thinking about them. Get the message. So when you reach the point of no return and you couple it with your wisdom, that is really when you have to get the message. You have to take some action. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to heal yourself. You're gonna have to see a qualified licensed therapist. You're gonna have to journal. You're gonna have to meditate. You're gonna have to probably heal childhood wounds. You're gonna have to self-isolate perhaps, but you're gonna have to really do this work. There's gonna be no magic pill or magic wand that can be waved to get you out of this. You're gonna have to really dig in deep within yourself and figure out that I have a lot of work ahead of me, but work is a day-to-day process, and each and every day my hope is you're making progress in time. In your time, you will heal. It will be bumpy because the healing path is not linear, but eventually you will have more good days than not so good days, and then eventually you will get to that mountaintop of indifference. At least that's my hope. Having said these things, when you reach the point of no return, there's no going back. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unexperience what you've experienced. And the narcissist knows this. That's why many times, of course, they discard you, or the reverse discard happens, or they have so many different avenues of manipulation, things that a 15-minute video can't do justice. But believe me when I tell you, it is advantage narcissists throughout the whole body of the relationship, from the minute you met them until the relationship ended, or until you figured out what they were, and then it is checkmate for you. I'll use the chess example one more time. If you're playing a game of chess with an individual, and that individual across the board from you gets to move 3 pieces in a row to start the game, 1, 2, 3, well, they have a huge advantage over you, huge, and most likely they will win the game. However, if you understand what you're up against, you can call checkmate on the narcissist and you can flip the script. Yes, they had a 3 chess piece head start in the game, and the relationship wasn't a game, but this is an analogy. But now you can call checkmate on the narcissist when you get the wisdom and you go no contact, etc. Because once you understand what you're up against, you understand that this is toxic. It's destroying you. It's stealing your energy. Perhaps your health is taking a hit. I can assure you your finances have taken a hit, and you're doing things you never thought you would do, saying things you never thought you would say, tolerating poor behaviors that you never thought you would tolerate. And this person could be your son, could be your daughter, could be your mom, your dad, could be a spouse, could be a neighbor, aunt, uncle, could be anybody. Once you see who they really are, the path is to remove yourself slowly from the relationship or utilize gray rock or both, whatever you need to do. But understand that these people don't change. They just get nastier and worse over time. So when you reach that point of no return, really put your foot down, draw the line in the sand and say to yourself, okay, today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to take action and I'm going to start to improve myself and get my cup full again so I can begin living life. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. If you've reached the point of no return in the narcissistic relationship, God bless you. If you're getting close to doing so, keep moving forward. Understand the message. The message is these relationships don't improve. They just go around on a loop like that, and you are caught up in it until you remove yourself and the loop continues without you. And the final thing I'll say is, remember, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye, guys.